All right, you guys, I've got another video I'm going to be posting. This one is the first pyramids I activated. So I've already posted about Jesus, and I redid that one. And I've posted about Mount Shasta. And I know there's going to be a lot coming at you guys, but they are wanting you to know the seriousness of this ascension and who I am and why I've talked about the things I've talked about on my channel. So if you're new here, I encourage you to watch everything on my channel so you can catch up and understand what's going on. If you're not new here, I love you so much and thank you for being part of my family. You guys mean the world to me. I love you, love you, love you. And again, if you're new here, please join the family, like and subscribe, because I will get you there. We will get you through the ascension. That's what I do. That's who I am. So I'm Juniper Bloom Mystique, Master Healer, Ascension Master, and part of the Gods of Time. What does that mean? Well, I freed Jesus' soul. I cleared Mount Shasta. I activated all these pyramids. And that's what these videos you're about to witness are about. Now, if you've watched the other videos, you know that some of you can receive these if you're awakened enough to receive them. And of course, if your ego is dissolved enough to receive them. And the others will be able to witness this and begin to wake up more and then eventually receive them as well. However, these are very powerful. They are a lot to process. Okay, so I encourage you to take the time to process them. Take the time to watch them many times over if you need to. Because what you're watching is biblical. What you're watching is history in the making. What you're watching is proof that we are going into a new world, into a new ascension. I don't just talk about it. I did the work. And now I get to share it with all of you because Spirit's like, you have to share it. And I'm like, do I? But do I? Like, do I really? Are you sure? And they're like, yes. So I'm like, okay. Because these were done through workshops. These were done in a safe bubble, in a little bubble of very few people watching. And so, judgments back then, this has been happening since 2020, okay? So almost a year and a half, because it started at the end of 2020 for the clearings of the earth. However, I had my awakening in June of 2019. So I'm going to my third year of that. I had a massive Kundalini awakening. And then it was a long journey of understanding who I was and what I was doing. And I've depicted this many times over, okay? In my other videos, I showed the painting that depicted who I was that I didn't understand at the time, but I do fully now. And so all of this stuff is very mind-blowing. It blew my mind and it took me a long time to process, okay? For this video, in particular, you're going to watch the first pyramids I activated. We went to Fiji. I believe it was February 25th of 2021, okay? That was the first pyramid I activated. Mount Shasta was done 11/11 of 2020, and then by February 25th of 2021 is when we activated the first pyramids. I opened up a portal on this one. This one was in Fiji. So if you watch my other videos, I cleared out Mount Shasta, which was the Earth's root chakra. It no longer is the Earth's root chakra. I activated a new one, okay? And that's what you're going to see depicted in this video. I had no idea anything about Fiji. Watch the Truman Show, too. That's what they told me after I did these things. And I'm like, oh my God, mind blown. I'd never really watched it before that. And so you'll kind of see everything I've done. I've also changed the time. I did a guided meditation on this channel, already posted on here about the elimination of false time. And so that also came into play in all of these. And you'll see these unfold if you're willing to watch all my videos. I encourage you to do so. Because you never know. You might actually just get to win a healing with me if you actually do. If you put yourself out there to try to understand all of this, watch all of this, absorb all of this. I've done a lot of things. And the only mark I missed was with my twin flame. But that was not on me. That was a different issue. And so I still pray that we don't get another Atlantis situation because of that, but I don't think so. They have informed me that I've bypassed that. I was able to pull it all through, and I've done a lot of things. So, with that being said, I'll kind of go through a really quick rundown. I sat on Saturn, raised Atlantis. I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. After that, we cleared Mount Shasta, which you're going to get to witness. Then I activated all the pyramids, which took me about a year to do. You're going to get to start to see those too, beginning with Fiji, because it was different workshops that I did so many of them. There was not just one, you guys. I activated many upon many and cleared them out and did all the shadow work of the earth. And then after that, Jesus' soul came through me, which I've already posted too, and I reposted it. And then after that, I brought Christ's light down. Okay, so I did all of it. I did all of the things that were depicted in the Bible. They were very real. Christ's light was brought down in November of this year. That was when things really got even more mind-blowing for me. So, all I ask of you to do is keep an open heart and an open mind, because if you're awake at all, you know the world is not the same as it is, and now you're meeting the person who actually brought it through for all of you. And this is hard for me to do, actually. It took a long time in spirit conditioning me, healing me, making me heal, or at least nudging me to. They can't make you do anything, because it was time for everybody to see who I am and what I've done and what's all coming for you guys. So people have talked about these things. Light workers and starseeds have talked about these things coming. And what the coolest thing was for me is I would do something, and then I would see other light workers and starseeds talking about it. I'm like, oh my God, I did that, and they have no idea. So now you're actually going to get to see what I've done and the reality of who I am and what's coming for you. And the biggest message from Spirit is there's nothing to be afraid of except for fear itself, okay? The only thing to be afraid of is if for some reason you're not staying in the light and you're not clearing your karma and doing all the nudges that are nudged for you to do, okay? That is the only thing you have to do. If you do that, there's so much abundance for you. There's so much love and so much light and so much golden era coming your way, okay? Because not only are we going back into a time of Atlantis, but it's going to be even better because I ascended Atlantis as well, okay? And that took me a minute to process too. Like, what does this all mean? Because I saw myself drowned in Atlantis. So something had actually gone wrong with that, but we were ascending Atlantis. And I'm like, what went wrong with it? And they wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, shit, I hope it wasn't my twin flame thing then too. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But, so, welcome to your new reality, my friends, because life is sure pretty strange. And, you know, some of the Bible is real, some of this is biblical, some of the Bible is not real. Anything in that Bible that is divide, I would throw it away. Religion is a division, where spirituality is inside of all of us, and we are all connected. We are all part of the whole, we are all one, and we all affect each other. So keep that in mind, okay? Allow your ego to melt away. For if you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen Jesus' soul being set free. You have now gotten to watch Mount Shasta, and now you're getting to watch Fiji. Okay, this was an activation and a portal of the gods, but an activation of the first pyramid that I did. And it blew my mind. I had no idea what was coming. So keep that in mind as well. I had no idea what was coming, you guys. I just did a workshop, and these things came through. And so some of my energy is like, bah! Like I didn't understand it all. And it took me a long time to process it, and I did it. So, again, I'm not a starseed. I'm not a light worker. I'm different, okay? And Spirit says it's time for you guys to know who I am and see what I've done. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I think I'm going to leave Christ Light on my website. I don't think they're pushing me to put that one on here because that's a gift. You know, all of these are gifts. And some of you will be able to receive them if you're open to be able to receive them. And others of you, they're just asking for you to witness it because these things are huge. They are huge, and they will be in history. They will be ingrained in history, and that's what they're saying. So get ready to take part in history, okay? This video is all about Fiji. Please watch it from beginning to end. It is a long one. Try to receive it. If you can receive it by doing the meditation, then God be with you. That's a blessing, and it's a gift, and I want you guys to treat it as such, okay? Because these things took my energy. It almost killed me doing them. It was a lot. It was my sacrifice for humanity. And so I hope you enjoy. They're really big and close to my heart, and I hope you have space in yours, and you can receive them, and if not receive, at least witness them for all that they are. Okay, so get ready to embark upon all of the pyramids being awakened and opened and the portals being activated, because that's what I did. And then after that, it was bringing back Christ light. All right, so buckle up, pull up your big girl panties, or boy underwear, whatever you wear, and enjoy the show. Okay? So much love, and may God be with all of you. Like my throat got all weird, like right before I got on, and I got out all my bowls, and I'm like, no, not today. Like nothing is stopping me today. Like this is gonna go good, and you guys are gonna see why. Like this is nuts. So just get ready to ride this ride. That's all I can say. Okay. So I have some info for you. The gods are with us today. Let's just put it that way. I saw them rise out of the ocean right before we just got on. I don't know exactly who they were. I'm not there yet. So there was some calendula. So just so you guys can see, this is what it looks like that I'm just kind of throwing out into our energy space. That and the peony. I'm going to light the candles as I'm starting up the energy and talking to you guys. I know it's a lot. I'm trying to get going because I don't want to keep you guys forever like I did last time. And there's a few things we're going to be doing today. So here's a little backstory. Here's some rose petals. When I created this workshop, what was it like at the beginning of this month, right? It came through and then I had to postpone it. They told me Fiji, and I didn't think twice about it. You know, I'm a Leo. I don't care. I just go with what they tell me. I never think about things, and these aren't things I've researched before. And Pamela, I'll ask you. She's like, why Fiji? And I'm like, I don't know. But it made me question myself. And so the other day, because I'm like, you know, do I really just come up with these things? Like, I think we all feel that, right? And so I think that's why I'm sharing this. And so with that being said, I decided, well, I'm going to look into it. And so I typed in Fiji ley line. Okay. So let me just go ahead and show you what I found about Fiji, if it will let me. So bear with me on this one. Okay, can you guys see that? Fiji, Gaia Legacy, do you guys see that? Okay. So when I looked it up, first of all, I saw the Merkaba. Okay, so that right there is like, holy moly, that's a Pleiadian symbol, right? I'm like, oh gosh. So then it turns out, remember when we went to Mount Shasta?
Yes.
Fiji is equivalent to Mount Shasta. It was the original root chakra. Okay. I feel like it was closed off as a portal. I feel like it's a portal because I saw God walk out of the ocean right as I called on the energy. No joke. So it is, I'm not going to pronounce these right, I'm sure, but Ovalau Viti Levu Fiji. Okay. So that is the energy we have been calling on. The island of Ovalau near the main island of Viti Levu is the actual place of power. So this is a major portal, and that's what they're showing me. It's a God portal, like no joke. I can't tell you, I felt the ground beneath my feet shake. I pulled up so much energy and I saw a God walk out, and I don't exactly know who it was. And it took my breath away. And that's why I'm like, what do I do? Because nobody's here. Like, what do I do with this? And I wasn't quite sure. So I'm glad you're all here because I didn't know what to do. This is God's territory. I don't know what this is. Okay, so just beware, because wait till you hear what Ashtar brought through. So then I started channel writing like crazy and I couldn't stop. Okay. And that's what's going on. And I'm just letting you guys all know. And so this just talks about, you know what it is. It was tied to Atlantis. Like a light bulb went off in my head and I'm like, oh, I can't make this up. I can't make this up. It was originally tied to Atlantis. The structures that were once there are presumed to be underwater, or were at one point. I don't know now. But I'll show you the handwriting. All of a sudden went crazy. Like I started just channel writing. It was like nuts. Okay. And I'll read it all to you. And so that's what's going on. So with that being said, I'm going to calm my energy a little bit. I'm going to take a little bit of lavender and put it on my forehead because this is what they're calling for. And I'm going to imagine rubbing it on your third eye, okay, as well.
I'm rubbing it too.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't burn my skin.
But you can, yes. Go ahead and go get some. Oh, it smells so good. Mm. 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 All right, that's beautiful. Okay, the music was channeled as well, you guys. Like this was nuts. I've never had anything come through quite like this. And then the videos, of course, they had Fiji on there. So I'm like, this can't, like, I couldn't make this up. This was so perfect. And I couldn't have dreamt of something like this. This was not from me for sure, because I really don't even know where we're going with it all the way yet. So just bear with me there. I also created what I call my magic spell, right? I feel like it opens up the energy completely. It's peony, lavender, and then some peony petals in it. But I love this thing very much. So I'm going to spray me and just spray the air. And I'm already calling on the portal. Okay, so for visual, I'm going to take us to okay, hopefully you guys can see that okay now. Can you guys see my recording video studio type thing with Fiji? Okay, good deal. All right, so what I'm gonna do is allow it to play just to look at the portal. There we go. All right, so this is my Ascension Portal that in the beginning of this thing, like I've told you guys, was channeled from, you know, the higher powers that be, the Galactic Council, and this is the one they wanted us to use today. And so I'm going to do this a little bit differently now and call in our energy first and then light the candles, okay? And then I will give you, so I wanted this so very structured. I'm trying so hard. But I also have my bowls. I will play a little bit, okay? And so there is that part too, but I'll give you the channeled message before I do the bowls to open up our chakras, and then we'll take you into meditation, okay? So hopefully that works for everybody. But first they're saying cards, 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 because this was a lot of energy, so I don't mean to be all over the place. Like it was intense before you guys even got on. So it is what it is, but so just imagine yourselves as I begin to pull the energy of the cards in as well. I want you guys to imagine yourself sitting around that Ascension Portal. So just as you're the crystals around the center one, okay, imagine sitting around that center crystal. And imagine, they just told me, ha, it's a pyramid, and laughed, okay? So take note that that center thing is a pyramid, okay? And you guys are sitting around a massive pyramid, and there's energy beginning to start to rise. It hasn't fully risen yet, okay? So we're just opening up the portal. So just imagine we're sitting around that triangle crystal, opening up the portal of light starting to shine through. As I do call on the creator of all that is, all of the gods and goddesses are coming forth, you guys. There's like, they're like filing in line, and they're massive. They're at least, it feels like 10 feet tall. I can't even describe to you how big I see them. But they're all coming in as well. I also see the Galactic Council, Ashtar, the Pleiadians. And then, of course, ancestors, our spirit guides. Like, we are being surrounded. Like, I'm hearing everybody's in house. Okay, so there's probably not one being that's not here. I feel like this is nuts. So they're coming forth as all of you are being situated around that triangle front and center. So it's all of your energy first. I'm included in that, okay? And then it's the Galactic Council. And then it's all of your angels and guides and higher selves. And this is how they're filing it around us. And then it's the gods and goddesses. And then Pleiadians, Orion, there's like all kinds of beings coming in. Okay, so let's just say we're surrounded. And I've never had it that intense. Oh my gosh, how many workshops do I do where I pull time? Okay, so that's the first card out of the goddess deck is time. Okay, so again, I'm hearing we're changing time, and wait till you hear the channeled message. I can't make it up. So time is in play. We're turning back the hands of time. You guys, again, I can't make this up. So there's a portal under Fiji. I told you to start imagining the light starting to activate under that triangle as well. And as I said that, I had pulled this card, which is an Atlantean or Lumerian card, the same, and it's water, the overflow. And you can see the feeling of water in this card, really. And then you can see the energy coming up from the water through her, you guys. And that's kind of how I saw the portal open and the gods start walking out of the ocean, right as I was trying to get on the live. Okay. So yeah, that's what's up. I can't really explain that any more than other than that. That's what's happening. This is no joke. Oh, it's like taking my breath away. And I'm not kidding you when I felt the ground like rumble. Like it was so much power. I haven't dealt with that yet. And then of course, loving compassion, because this is apparently a really big deal. Okay. So please, 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 I feel like bigger than any I've done. So be mindful, you guys. Okay. My head, I can't stop it from tingling. Let's just put it that way. So there's that. All right. So with that being said, you don't have to close your eyes yet or anything like that. Now that all the beings are in and we've started opening up that portal, I am going to call us all by name into this space, okay? And they're also telling me right now as I speak to you that as I call in your names, just bring in your family with you. Do you understand? Just imagine your family coming in under your arms, okay? I'm going to clear some space and light some candles as this is starting to open and I call in our names. So as I've called in all the beings that be, I open up a massive portal of protection. We are surrounded by the highest, most powerful and protective loving light. Nothing that is any less can get in or out ever. All of our hearts are open wide and our energy is safe and sound. The highest healing, expansion, and anything else we can imagine comes through today with ease and grace for all of us here and not here, and those that will join in the future as well. So now I call on the energy of Angela Bench, Pamela Vandergoot, Jacinth Belize, I hope I said that right, Donita Longo, Kathy Luskin, Andrea Shavaria Lawrence, Gigi Gabriela Zamaripa, and Amy Hutchinson. And I also ask that we just kind of hold space for Andrea's kiddo too. Just kind of call him in with us. So I call that in now as well. And all of our loving family members that we feel and bring with us in this present moment as well. So be it, and so it is. They're also telling me to include, which I've never really done, that all info here today falls on loving ears and loving ears only. Okay. So with that being said, whoever you do end up sharing whatever you experience with will understand and be open to receive as well. That way there is no tainting of any information or anything that happens here today they are telling me is of importance. So I light on our candles and powers that be. I have added lavender and rose oil, peony oil, and bergamot as well. And I have my waterfalls going for the representation of water as well as the music I'm about to introduce to you guys. That was channeled for today.
Right there. Yeah.
So it came through as 1212 and 222 is the portal of the gods music. And that's how it started coming through today. So I'm like, okay, so I started there and then the rest followed. Okay. So I was going to do the message first, but they said to just go ahead and calm our energy and open up our chakras. And then Ashtar wants to come in. Okay. And then after I channel his message, I will play the music and take us on a live. So it's me doing it right here with you, guided meditation. Okay. The only part that was recorded previously is the video and the music. Okay. I like it better that way. I think we probably all would agree. I would hope anyways. So I'm just making sure there's like no urgent messages that I can see. I don't see the chat. Let me just make sure. Okay. Ooh, 333. Oop, already tingling. Cool. good stuff. No worries there. All right. Okay. So just go ahead and start breathing. As usual, hands up in receiving mode is my most concern. Close your eyes when ready, but just begin calming your body with your breath. And as I and Archangel Michael is also stepping forward. So the angels are like, why you forget about us? Of course, I call on all of the angels that wish to be with us here. Goddess Athena. But Michael's stepping forward to help ground you guys and make sure we're all grounded completely, anchored in of the highest light. Ooh. Okay, we're also activating okay, so what I failed to say and they're showing me is that Fiji, the portal is related to her Earth Star chakra. So there's just a little bit of a significance there that I guess I failed to mention. It's really related to her Earth Star chakra. And as I saw it open up, that's what really opened up. Also, okay. So you guys just breathe in the light as I make sure we're all grounded. Cleanse our bubbles. Cut any cords that need to be cut for you. If anything comes up that I need to mention, I will. But other than that, I'm going to be silent and just play the bowls for a little while. I'm going to open up all chakras and align them as you just completely breathe and relax your body. So breathe to whatever feels good for you, either holding your breath, 1, 2, 3, in and out type of thing, or just normally. And just relax more and more with each breath. Somebody did ask if they want to keep their mic on mute. Yes, if you guys could mute your mics, that would be perfect. That way I can just kind of go into the meditation and nothing will accidentally happen. Other than that, I wouldn't mind. Just relax further and further with each breath. Allowing the energy portal to start opening completely, as well as your chakras. Just calming them and opening them, one by one. Starting to open your third eye, especially completely, as far as it can go. And then eventually we're going to open it beyond that. And your crown chakra, so you can hear the faintest whispers of the gods without any doubt, with ease and grace. Your heart chakra, so you can feel the highest love possible in you, around you, encompassing you, becoming all of you. God's love and your throat chakra, opening it completely, removing any debris, any doubt, self-sabotage, constraints put on by others as well, completely eradicating them so they can never return, allowing you to be free for who you are and who you were always meant to be. All other chakras, the gods are opening, so okay. But the gods are opening our chakras above you, below you, and all around you, and all within you. Multiple chakras, not just your main ones. Allowing them to communicate together. Some have never been opened before, they've said. So just allow it to be whatever you feel. Breathe it through. Let me clarify. Some have never been opened before in this lifetime. Finalizing our bubble of protection. Archangel Metatron is now stepping forth also. Fiji is much more than I can express. There's a lot to do here. The Merkaba, there's something to do with that there too. There really is, and I can't quite put my finger on all of it, but I guess we're not supposed to know all of it. I do feel like the ground is already shaking, so I'm calling on the energy now of Fiji. Whatever portal opened, I call on that portal and the activation of it further for whatever we're supposed to do with it today. And they want us to anchor our energy into Fiji. So I now bring forth all of your energy. You don't have to do anything. Just know I'm doing it for you. Almost like pulling on your cords. And I'm beginning to pull them forth together. And they're still connected to the core of the earth, they're telling me, but I'm pulling them together to Fiji. So I am now taking us to the energetic realm of Fiji and what Fiji is all about, to exactly where we need to go in Fiji without knowing anything about it. We are just guided safely and securely to right where we need to be. And as I do that, we're like crossing over this energy portal. I can see it. And the Pleiadians are now stepping forth here. For they're going to assist us a lot today on expanding your third eye, especially. Also your heart space, which is a bonus I didn't know about. And any other things they need to help heal you, help heal for you today and bring forth for the possible connection. So not just psychically, but every bit of who you are to all of the new energies, and raising your third eye to a light body today completely. And so if you weren't telepathic before, be ready to be one now. That's what they're saying. This is going to raise you into the highest light possible for you. Okay, as far as connecting to your third eye, your psychic gifts, your powers, your knowing, all of it. And as well as love. They said, don't forget that. Got to focus on the love. Okay. So as I do that, we're ready to begin. So I'm going to read you Ashtar's message and call in the energy of his purpose with us today. And I do believe him, the Pleiadians, and Athena, at the very least, are going to be accompanying us on this meditation. And again, all I know is I see a little bit of jellyfish and I see us floating in the ocean. Okay, so that's what I can give you. see. All right. So let me turn this down. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and call on Ashtar's energy. He is a powerhouse. I've had a message come through him before, but I've never felt him as well as I did today. He takes my breath away and he kind of took over everything that I was. Like I couldn't even see straight. Everything took over for me. So this was straight him. Bringing about the changes of time has never been undone. Let's now set in motion and finish what once was said to be done. Come now through me, the changing tides we see. Come now through me, the time has come. What's done is done, the newness has begun. Breathe, believe, reign true, see through. And as I say that, he is stepping further into our energy portal, in between us and the crystal or pyramid crystal energy portal hole. And he's the one drawing up the energy from the earth. So just go ahead and keep breathing. Keep your eyes closed now for sure. As he is literally pulling up all of your energy individually, one by one. He's starting to actually cleanse your energy. So this is how we're starting it. It's almost like anointing your energy. I've never really seen this done before, but it's like he's pulling in your energy into this portal and he's cleansing it. And as he's doing this, it's almost like washing laundry. And as he's doing that, you guys are rising higher and higher in vibration. So just keep relaxing, keep breathing. Start to imagine Fiji. If you need help, it is on the screen in front of you, so you can get an image of that. So don't worry about opening your eyes to see. If you need to see some, that's just fine. This beautiful place, islands, the most pristine water you have ever seen. Magnificent greens and blues. It has something to do with the pyramids. So I am seeing like a pyramid underwater here. And I am seeing the ground under Fiji begin to shake. I do ask that everybody be safe and only the highest and best forth always for everybody involved. But I am seeing this pyramid. It looks like gray stone, so not quite like the ones you would see in Egypt. This one has like really big square gray stones, and each stone individually is bigger than a home, like they're massively large. That's how I'm seeing this one. And it's kind of beginning to rumble. From one of the sides of it, as Commander Ashtar is still cleansing each energy individually with the portal, I see a door open. And from this door, I see light. So just keep breathing. It's the most magnificent white light I've ever seen. And this pyramid is still underwater. Excuse me. And that is how I'm seeing it. And the light from this doorway begins to expand. So it begins to creep up along the ocean floor. Like it's beginning to activate. It's beginning to access light that has been taken. It's beginning to access light that was once dimmed. So it's almost like when you first open your eyes from a deep, deep sleep, and it almost hurts to look. It's so bright when you open your eyes at first. So you close them a few times and you try to adjust. And that's what this door and this light are doing. Shine brightly and expand, and then they dim down slightly, close up a little bit. And as it's doing that repeatedly, Ashtar relaxes all of our energy. Mine as well included is also being called on, and I'm sitting there with you, right with you. Is relaxing. He's no longer pulling our energy in. We're all cleansed and connected to what Fiji is, to the portal here, to the energy at hand. Beginning to expand our roots of a connection. These roots are becoming like the most beautiful teal I've ever seen. So it's changing the color of all of your energy bodies completely. And the Pleiadians are stepping now around you, like kind of like behind you. As your roots are beginning to become this teal color. Just keep breathing as I pull this up. Forgive me because I feel it doing it to mine too. As it's doing that, it's communicating with the earth too. So I see the earth's grid lighting up and becoming teal green. I see her water body beneath the earth that we connect to lighting up and becoming teal green. So the reality here is you're become a grid, so to speak. So you're a connection now between the inner earth and the inside of Fiji. So it's almost like they are separate. There are two things right now. So it's like that light coming up from Fiji and the energy of the earth. You're bringing the two together. Does that make sense? That's what they're showing me right now. You are sorry, the chills are intense. You are helping bridge that gap. You're helping mend and repair that gap. So just breathe with it. The Pleiadians are stepping forward. See, each of you have your own. And this is like your guide, your connection. Okay, so they are saying to you right now, if you feel scared, tell them to take a breather. If you, and I got chills, okay? If you need support, ask for it. And if you also have questions, feel free to ask, okay? And just be open to whatever you receive. That is their message now. As they are starting to do like an energetic surgery between, it's weird. So I see it like having two cords. We have cords going into Fiji and then we have cords going into Earth, but they're still the same kind of a thing. And the Pleiadian is beginning to do surgery at your cord level. Okay, so it's starting there first. Starting to bring together the two energies, the polarities. Forgive me. Repairing a gap that was once torn. Bridging the bind that was forsaken. Goddess Athena is also stepping forth. She is covering your head, your head space, your crown chakra and your third eye, as the Pleiadians are beginning to mend your cord space. Okay, so they're down below at the energy below you. And Goddess Athena is supporting you with the energy of the gods above you. Each one of you may have a different bird all of a sudden pop into your presence too, because that's what I see. So while Athena was above you, I saw different birds. There's a cardinal, there's a blue jay, there's a crow, a magpie. Somebody has a magpie with them as well, which is new for me. That's beautiful. I love the energy. So for whatever that is worth, they have now come into our space above you as well. Just bringing you healing energy, bringing you support, messenger from above, right? Guiding light. They are becoming your animal guide for this presentation. So take note as to whatever bird you might be feeling, experiencing, or seeing in your space right now. And they will be with you for some time. I'm hearing at least 3 months. The number 3 is relevant with this bird. So get to know this bird. This bird is now your friend, your companion, and is going to help you navigate these new energies coming forth. And as I do that, the Pleiadians are at our feet now, okay? So our cords are now mended. It's like a big pull, you guys. So I felt the earth shift again. So I feel like the earth just went like almost scooted over, just like almost scooted over on her axis. Like, oops, I was a little far off to the right. And she just went and aligned with this energy portal of this pyramid at Fiji. And somehow both of your roots that were connected are now one. So we are beginning to draw up both energies of Fiji and the earth together. Of course, they're all Mother Earth, but they were divided, okay? So we're also mending a huge divide. Bear with me. Okay. So I am just letting your Pleiadian guide, because remember, each one of you have a different one. They are starting to draw up both energies into your body, is what they're telling me. And each one of you, it's a little different. So take note, because any blocks they are met with, they are removing as they go. Any blocks at all keeping you from connecting to any of your clairs and keeping you from up-leveling are being removed today. They are doing surgery on you, like a psychic surgery. So again, be mindful of your energy and please drink lots of water. You might feel dehydrated with all the salt water because we are about to put you in the ocean. So please drink lots and lots of water. Okay. So as that's happening, your Pleiadian guide is starting to pull over what looks to be like a lit up crystal bench. Okay. It's like a crystal bench that's going to carry you from the energy portal of this circle we created, and they are going to slowly pull you into the ocean. And that is where they are going to connect you with these beautiful jellyfish that I see now that are going to come up and help you bring about these new energies from the ocean below, new forms of communication, activations as well, while your Pleiadian guide is going to do everything they need to do to turn your third eye into a light body and beyond, as well as your Galactic Chakra. That's new. I didn't expect that as well. So take note, your Galactic Chakra as well is going to be turned into a light body today. So just keep breathing as your crystal bench is being brought up behind you. And once it's there, your galactic guide is going to reach out their hand for you. And you can grab it when you're ready. Take note of what they look like to you. Take note of the energy you feel, even if you can't see them, as they're coming into your space and helping guide you onto this bench. This beautiful, energetic carrier, so to speak, that's going to guide you freely. So you don't have to do anything at all, including walk or move. Just breathe and let things go as they come up. So as they're doing that and putting you on a bench, they're going to give you a number. This number represents where your third eye is at now. So if it's a lower number, then that's the gap between is what you're missing in connection. If it's a higher number, representing you use your third eye a lot. Okay, so it's really a measurement as to how much you're using your third eye at this time. So you could feel a number, you could feel a percentage. It'll be some form, and they said that some of you might even hear low, medium, and high. So whatever it is you get, take note now. If you feel the need to write it down, they said you can do so. The energy will be held open for you so that you don't forget. And then after you do that, just come back into place. And they're going to start pulling you onto this beautiful energetic crystal bench. Now, some of these crystals I feel like are new. So if you don't quite understand the crystal they presented, that's okay. I feel like we're being introduced from this moment forward to new things coming abound, whatever that means. There's going to be new things popping up in our world. New types of crystals being exposed. A whole bunch of newness that has been kept. So just be mindful of that. Make space for that. Now, as they're getting us all on our bench, they're pulling you towards the water. And they're going to ask you to trust them completely. So before they pull you on the water, they already sense some hesitation. So they want to cut you from the fear body, from the thoughts that they're going to let you drown, from the thoughts that you have to swim in order to remain sound, from the thoughts that you have to do anything right now at all, other than let what happened to you happen to you. And as they're cutting a fear body, they are pulling you onto the water and putting protection around you. As they do that, they're going to pull you out further from the shore, out into a space in the ocean that is directly above this pyramid. It is directly above this pyramid. You are there alone with your guide. That is all you are going to see. Floating in the ocean, complete trust in your guide, knowing that everything they do for you is of your highest and best only, filled with love and light and beauty and grace and expansion. And they want you to start imagining laying on this ocean, becoming one with the ocean as the bench is removed from you. You cannot drown here. You cannot go underwater, for there is an energy around you that is holding you in place right at the water's surface. So it's as if your ears are underwater. Your backside is being caressed gently by the ocean. Your bird is flying above you, protecting you from any harmful rays of the sun, but allowing just enough light to penetrate your soul to bring you newness and healing as well. And they are starting with your Galactic Chakra. I see it like a purpley brown hue. They are opening up your Galactic Chakra, and they are connecting it with this pyramid portal. They're drawing up the light of the pyramid portal into your Galactic Chakra. As they do that, these beautiful translucent jellyfish are starting to come up and swim all around you. And these are messengers of the deep sea. That's what they said. These house secrets for you. They house inner knowledge of who we all were. They house your right directional source and connection to the real life path energy. And so I'm hearing again, you will communicate in ways like never before. So take a deep breath. There's some resistance some of you have. And some of your guides are going down towards your lower body parts to remove them. So take a deep breath and take note of what you feel. And just allow it to be. So I'm being drawn back to our galactic chakra, and to me it looks like a lotus flower now, and it's floating. So they kind of took it out like surgery. They removed it from our body, and it's floating on the ocean. And as it's floating there, it's starting to up level. It's starting to energize in a whole new way. It's starting to become a whole new light form of this beautiful magic water, the beautiful crystalline grid of this pyramid beneath you, lighting up and coming through your galactic chakra. Oh, lighting it up from the center out. They had to do it this way so it doesn't affect your physical body. That's why they took it out and placed it on the water, because the rest of you would not be able to handle this work. So this light from the pyramid is shining up into your galactic chakra. All of you, they're turning colors. I see different colors now. One just turned blue, like a beautiful, vibrant blue. I see a green one, a yellow one, an orange one. Whew. And as the light is coming through, it's changing your chakra completely. Bringing it to what it should have been, bringing it to what they once were. Removing the gap between all realms. They're doing something energetically to your chakra as well as it floating on the water. So it's just like they're doing surgery to it. I don't need to know what they said, so just make space for this, that this is happening now. Keep breathing. Know that you're feeling it, even though it's outside of you on the water. And just breathe through it now. Calmly relaxing deeper and deeper as they do this. Your bird shielding you and protecting you, loving you, comforting you. And you can even pet your bird. I see somebody petting their bird. They're still working on your galactic chakra individually as the light from the pyramid is also changing colors. It's bringing them new forms of communication, new light codes. Now they're also pulling out your soul chakra, your star chakra, and your crown chakra. And they're doing the same things to them on the water, up leveling them to the amount that they can be. The galactic is turning into a light body. Crystalline, beautiful light body chakra. No longer solid form. Powerful light body. Whoa, I just got dizzy, so just breathe through it. They're also opening up your heart space now on a deeper level with further downloads here as well. So we're just going to hold space and let them do their work on all of those chakras. Take note of what you feel and breathe it through. Any blocks that are met, they remove them. they halt all work and remove them. So no worries. Just breathe through it. Your bubble also went to a light body. As they're starting to replace those chakras, they're keeping your heart open. They're not pulling the heart chakra out of your body. This one remains in place. They're pulling out shards of like what looks like glass out of your heart chakra. And they're beginning to open up your pineal gland, your third eye chakra, and they're pulling out the same shards of glass here. So it's like these rigid, like somebody broke a beer bottle. It's very thick glass, like cobalt blue. A very thick cobalt blue glass in your heart space and in your third eye. And bear with me, I have to sit in silence because they're doing mine as well. So just breathe with it and let them do that work. Any pains, just breathe light and swallow. Okay, after the last few pieces of glass are removed, forgive me, they are energetically sewing them up. So they are healing them with this beautiful light body thread, the light of God, the light of the universe, the light of the earth, the light of your heart. They are using that love to stitch back your chakras, piece by piece, making them whole again. This is going to be a big change. As they're doing this, I am being drawn to each of your Akashic records. You are healing through the Akashic records right now. Healing the past of what was taken, what once was forsaken. Making it right now. As I did that, I saw a dark book. I think it's tied to the darkness, obviously. And it was thrown into this portal, like a fire is what it looked like, to be taken out. So as I was in our Akashic records, I see a dark book being removed from this space. What once controlled it is now undone. Made to ashes, dust to dust, will never, ever again be found. Bringing back the ties of righteous path. This is Ashtar speaking. Making right all that shall be right. So the way I just saw, the visual that I saw as they're doing this work, and they're closing up your heart space now, and going into your throat chakra and removing debris there, is I saw what looked like a bottle, kind of like what would be an SOS bottle, or one of those bottles where they would build a ship inside of it. This bottle looks as if it had two layers, and the internal layer to the outer layer turned apart from each other. So the internal layer of the bottle shifted left, the outer layer of the bottle shifted right, and it aligned where it should be, to where the locks fit right into place now. And the bottle sinks back down together, and that pyramid beneath us opens, lights up completely, and is now 100% activated. And as we do that, they pull out your pineal gland even further, completely alone. All other chakras are back in place. I am seeing images, so it's almost like they're putting all these downloads visually into your third eye of what once was, what happened, who you are, things of that nature. As they're downloading this information, just breathe. Allow it to be. They're giving back to you what was once taken from you now. As they're doing that, they're accessing your DNA. And they are connecting your third eye and repairing the DNA that it is connected to. Seven things down on the left side. That's the best way I can describe it. So it's like 7 helixes down on the left side is being repaired. And that's repairing the connection to the third eye that was actually demolished. And it is me in me as well. Like this is happening to all of us now. As they do that, the jellyfish are accessing and activating your light body even further, your bubble. And I heard ringing in my ear as I did that. And Gabriel is coming in, flying above you, anointing you all in golden light. I guess there was a pyramid there we have activated, because I hear this pyramid's now activated. I don't know what that means. All the way it's underwater, so we go with it. Oh, as they did that, the light from that doorway just sprung across and all over the islands of Fiji, like taking them out of darkness, so to speak. And I'm drawn again to that goddess that I saw walking out of the water and up onto the beach. She looks just massive. She's massive. She stands bigger than all of the islands. Like she's massive. And I feel like she's a mixture of I feel Aphrodite, Athena, Luna, like I feel so many goddesses being brought together in this one form. And that's how it's presenting. It's like all the goddess energy is being brought forth and rising up in a massive way. Just breathe with it. They're doing the final touches of all of your chakras and your third eye, making sure your new communications are solid and protected and cannot be undone ever again. Ashtar is communicating in a language I'm not aware of. Let me see what's going on here. So it's like he's talking above us, like to the gods, letting them know the job is done. And all I hear is it's time. And I saw a wave, you guys. And then from that moment, it's like the door from above closed off. And your guide, your Pleiadian guide, is making sure that all of your chakras are now being put back into your body, that all of your energy is aligned accordingly. Because of this surgery, you've up-leveled in energetic form. And so they're combining all of that and anchoring it into your soul, anchoring it into your body, your energy, every bit of who you are at this time. and they are actually using the water and pouring it over you lightly to cleanse your body as they do this, and to up-level your physical form as much as they can while keeping you here in physical form. So they can only go so high, but they are up-leveling your physical body as well in order to house this new energy. Otherwise, you couldn't house it. Now they're already starting to float you back. And as they're doing that, it's like you're just so happy and feeling the water and seeing your bird and starting to acknowledge the newness within you, for nothing really feels the same anymore. So that's their message here, is take note of the differences you feel. They are justified and they are very real. Be very, very, very kind to yourself. Jophiel is stepping forward. Self-love is beyond imperative, more than ever before after this one. You have changed in such a way nobody else has. So you're not going to be able to call other people and go, what does this mean? They're not going to understand. This was big. I will, but not everybody else will. So take note of that. To have a journal, write things down. But the biggest thing is don't doubt who you are. Don't doubt what comes through for you. Allow it to be and run with it. It's beautiful. And be ready. As they're pulling us to the shore, your Pleiadian guide is lifting you up and allowing you to get your feet on the sandy beach, because it's like learning how to stand. It's almost as if you don't know how to stand. So energetically, they're helping you learn how to stand up again in this new body that you now are. It's like an alien feeling, like I almost don't know how to feel in this body. So it's very important for you to learn to connect to the earth again. Learn to ground in new ways. The old ways may not work for you anymore. It's going to be fun to play. You're all safe. You're all energetically connected to her. As they're grounding you into the beach, now you can ask again how much of your third eye you can now use, or that you have access to. How much of your third eye is available to you now? Take note of the difference in numbers. That way, if things come up, you're not going to be surprised. For there was obviously a change done to you today. Dizziness is going to be rampant. It's going to feel like you're in different worlds, and that's okay. You will anchor in. You will get used to it. About a week. As they're pulling you now back to that center where we started, in our little portal sphere, sitting around our little pyramid crystal. Ashtar is once again bringing your energy through this pyramid crystal and aligning you further again to the earth, cleansing your energy, bringing you back into yourself. He's saying right now, please take note of who you are, for not everybody could have been here today. That is his message. He wants you to realize who you all are, because not everybody could have been here today. And he wants me to say that to where you are hearing me correctly. And now he's putting his thumb on your forehead and lighting up your third eye from the outside. I see a triangle as well. I do see geometric shapes forming all around you. He's reminding you this was a lot. Please act on what comes through, otherwise you diminish. You go backwards in time from what we did today. For you've all just been given a gift of newness, new accomplishments, new goals, new wonder, new joy, new abundance on every level. The final message is he wants you all to remember that we're all safe. We're all extremely safe. Think of it as we're actually in like a snow globe. And what happens outside the globe, almost as if a movie, where it's not really affecting any of us or our loved ones alike. Anchor that into your heart space now. I just asked if we're closing off this pyramid under Fiji, and they said no, it will remain open forever now. I don't know if it's going to remain underwater. I don't think so. So that remains to be done or seen later. Because that's kind of what I see is eventually this will rise up out of the water. This is a very powerful pyramid here. Portal, chakra to the earth, also connecting her there. This is a big one. This is work that was done with the gods for a reason. Like not all beings could partake. This was a very sacred space is what they're showing me. So again, take note of that. This was a sacred space. Highly, highly protected. Highly, highly protected. A gift. So what Ashtar is now doing is separating you one by one from that center ascension pyramid. As he's doing this, he's having to reground you. So just sit with this. Take note of whatever you feel. It's like cutting your energy and then you're like, oh, like, whoa, it was too much. And he immediately has to pull your energy down. As he's doing that, he's allowing you to be completely aligned, realigning your chakras, connecting you again to the earth. Bringing you back to the space you're in now, right inside your body. I don't know what this means, but Poseidon is very active right now within the waterways. Whatever that means. Poseidon is very active right now doing something within the waterways. He's like bringing the energy from that pyramid and expanding it along the earth grid is what he's doing. So just take note of that is happening from this moment forth. That's his part, not ours. But we allowed that to happen today. Whenever you start to feel like you're coming back into yourself, take some deep breaths. Send your energy down into the earth. Start wiggling your feet. coming on up through your legs, wiggling your hips. This is a big one, so please take your time. Only open your eyes when you're ready.